Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Read Step. I am your host, Isaiah Ruiz, and I apologize. It's been a long time since we've done one of these videos. Obviously, we're in, what is it, March 10th, I believe? Yeah, it's 12 o'clock now. So it's March 10th already. I believe the last video I did was like early February. I know it was before the Super Bowl. I apologize about that. Just been going through a lot of different things, um, just going through a lot of different things here, and both work and personal life related, and lot of it led to me being very unmotivated to do some of these videos. So I apologize for that and taking so long to get back. For those of you, the very few of you that do watch these videos, so I just wanted to point that out first. I mean, at this point, it's kind of pointless talking about the Super Bowl. We already know who won, of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I picked them to win. Um, but I kind of want to move into today's big news. We're getting into the NFL, or sorry, we're getting back into the NFL, obviously, and we're getting into some pretty big news that happened this past weekend. We're going to regard two teams, so this is going to be a shorter video, and I might possibly might cut down my videos a little bit shorter, at least for now, and then maybe when we get an audience, and probably make them a little bit longer. But for today specifically, we're going to talk about two big transactions that happened. Start off first with Davante Adams to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, Davante Adams signs a 2-year deal with 46 million, so that's about a little over 20 million a year with the LA Rams. And my initial thoughts were, obviously, given how the Rams finished the season against the eventual champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, we're not going to let that slide of how good of a year they had without Davante Adams. They had Puka Nacua, who was arguably a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in the NFL. He had Cooper Kupp, who is seemingly, obviously, especially after this signing, is going to be traded or let go, one of the two. And so with this, with this signing, kind of like I said, this is going to put, and Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams are both very much veteran receivers. They're both been in the league for a very long time. You got Cooper Kupp, who was a Triple Crown winner, for crying out loud, a few years ago when they won the Super Bowl. Arguably the best year for a wide receiver in NFL history. And now that they're getting ready to part ways with him, I just think that this is going to be a really good pickup for the LA Rams. I think Davante Adams still has a lot left in the tank. I think it's just unfortunate that albeit it was his fault, because he did choose to go to these teams, or prefer to go to one of them at least. But he did choose to go to the the Las Vegas Raiders, and then he got traded to go to the Jets. So both, I mean, he took a lot of money to go with the Raiders, and then started complaining as soon as they weren't winning, and nobody was really expecting them to win. I mean, I believe after the first year with the Raiders, they traded Carr away. He went to the New Orleans Saints, obviously, and then he spent, I believe, a year or two without him, and the Raiders, and they're a horrible team, and they continue to be a horrible team right now. But Pete Carroll is now the head coach. They just traded for Geno Smith from Seattle, and we're going to get to Seattle in a minute. But the Raiders just weren't obviously a very good team, so he goes back to play with Aaron Rodgers, and in New York to play for the Jets. That was probably even worse than that experience was probably even worse than the Raiders. To be quite honest with you, I think the Jets right now, as obvious as it can be, are doing an entire just like rebrand, not rebrand, but like a rebuild. So that just absolutely went to shit. But now that he's coming to the Los Angeles Rams, and he's going to be able to compete, he's not only going to be able to help compete for a Super Bowl, but this is going to be for at least for the next 2 years. You have Matthew Stafford, who's going to be there for the next 2 years, and he's more than capable, despite his age, he's more than capable to going and winning a Super Bowl and making deep playoff runs within these next 2 years. So you pair Davante Adams with him, you pair him with Puka Nacua, a young ascending wide receiver in this NFL. You got Kyron Williams, you got a pretty good offensive line, and then defensively, we already know, because we saw what they can do defensively. This is a very well-suited team in the NFC for the next 2 to 3 years to come. It's exciting. If you're a Rams fan, you should be excited. The Rams are going to get an absolute stud at receiver. I think he's going to come back to his form of being a top 5, top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, especially with Puka Nacua on the other side, and having Matthew Stafford. Now, obviously, he's not gonna get the ball as much because of Puka Nakua, but I think at this point in time with his age and how long he's been in the NFL, I really don't think he's gonna care that much. I think what is important to him and why he signed with the Rams is he wants to go and win a Super Bowl, or he at least wants to get there. So he wants to get there and he wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to win a championship. He's gotten bag after bag. He's played with Aaron Rodgers for an extended period of time, probably like his best friend in the NFL or one of his best friends in the NFL. He played with them last year for half the season. Didn't go the way he wanted or anybody in that organization wanted. And now he put himself in a great place in a great city, the greatest city on earth, if you ask me personally. Uh, in Los Angeles, he's going to be there. I think he's going to be very comfortable there. It's very easy to be comfortable there and just love and appreciate the lifestyle of LA, especially a kid being from there. I know what it's like. And I think he's going to thoroughly enjoy it. Mentally, from a mental standpoint, it plays a huge role in where you go, where you sign, where you play, what job you go in that regard. Whether you're a professional football player or not, being able to be in a situation, be in an area where mentally you feel good mentally about the situation you're in. I think he's going to go there, have a breath of fresh air. He's got Sean McVay, one of the best head coaches in the NFL, a top 5 head coach in the NFL, if you ask me personally. And he's going to get a chance to win and make some serious noise in the NFC. So good for Davante Adams. I'm glad he made this decision to go and sign with the LA Rams. I'm happy for the LA Rams. I'm not a Rams fan, but there's definitely times where I do root for them for sure because, it's LA, it's the Rams, and, the Steelers have no rivalries with them or anything like that. So it's always, always, always nice to see when they're doing great things. And that organization, unlike the New York Jets, they know what they're doing. They know what they want to do. They know where they're at. For a while there, it did look like Matthew Stafford was going to part ways as well. They kept him instead. I think that was a great move. I don't think Matthew Stafford is a bad quarterback at all, regardless of age. I know not everybody's going to be like Tom Brady, but what has happened in the NFL over the past decade is it allows quarterbacks to play longer and play at a higher rate at a much older age than years before. So it's a good situation all around for the LA Rams. Rams fans, you should be excited. It's going to be a great time for you guys these next 2 years. You guys should be expected to be able to and expected to win a lot of games and make more deep playoff runs. Now, going on to the other big transaction, one that I am extremely happy about and that I couldn't be more excited about to hear is the Steelers acquiring DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks. Man, I got to tell you, so I was actually in my room. I was watching TV. I think I was watching Drake and Josh. And I was actually eating a sandwich with some chips, and then I get a text from my dad. I had just been on the phone like 5 or 10 minutes prior with my mom and my dad. They went to go out to eat, and I get a text from my dad, and he said, "You guys just traded for DK," and I was like, "No way!" And so I immediately got to my phone. I opened up Instagram, and as soon as I refreshed and rescrolled, I got the alert right there. Steelers trading for DK Metcalf. I was so excited. I couldn't believe it. And it's funny. So at my job, I work at a news station, and at my job, I got a lot of people that I work with that, including my boss, that are Seattle Seahawks fans because they're from Seattle and they're from the area. And on Thursday or Friday or whenever around the time when DK requested a trade, I jokingly, but also trying to like manifestingly said, "No, it's okay. You know what? No, it's all right. He's gonna go to the Steelers. We're gonna give him a 3rd or 2nd round pick, and he's coming to Pittsburgh. It's gonna be DK and George Pickens." Now, obviously, nobody really knows, but when I said that, I thought it was a possibility. I mean, we see so many good players go for a lot less than a 2nd or 3rd round pick. No offense to DK, he's a great receiver. He truly is, and him and George are going to be absolutely insane. But what I'm saying is, you got like really, really good players that get traded for like 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks, So the fact that we were able to get DK, and I don't even care, you could take the 2nd round pick. I really don't care. He was a 2nd round pick. And really, he should have been a 1st round pick. But regardless, the fact that we were able to get DK in his prime, it's too, man, I love the news. It really made my Sunday. It made my weekend. And I'm excited to see what he's going to be like with George Pickens on the other side. And the best part about it, one of the things I like about this DK trade, the Steelers pride themselves or try to pride themselves on running the football. And DK is a very, very, very big and physical specimen of a human being. He is all of 6'4". He looks more like 6'4", 200. I'm assuming 30 plus pounds. Everybody knows his stature. Dude has about 0% body fat. Just an absolute unit. And he run a 4.3 40. The dude is everything that you could want in a receiver. I love that he has a little bit of grit to him. He's not afraid of blocking. He has, as some people say, as the kids say nowadays, he's a crash out. But truthfully, I mean, I kind of like that a little bit when it comes to my receivers. You think back to the days of Hines Ward. Now, Hines Ward, to be fair, he wasn't a crash out, and he wasn't as big as DK or George Pickens. But one thing he can do is block and absolutely decleat you. Now, some of those blocks are not legal now, but decleat you, and he was not afraid of blocking at all. And those are the type of guys that I love to have on our team. Now, if you're a guy like unless you're Antonio Brown, like peak Antonio Brown, and you're out here putting up 1,500 yards, 110 plus catches, and like 13 or 14 touchdowns a year, that's a little different. You don't need to block. I don't want you to block. But now having DK here again for a second round pick, I don't know. I mean, this year I think outside of quarterback. I mean, the draft class, we'll see how it ends up turning to be. But I really think that having DK here with George Pickens, and then we're also bringing back Najee and Warren. I can't think of his first name, but Warren. You have Pat Freiermuth coming off arguably his best year. He's one of the top 10 tight ends in the NFL, in my opinion. We're still building that offensive line, but we're getting better on the offensive line, and that defense is the defense. So I think now, obviously, we really can't mess up the quarterback situation. I don't want to bring back Russell Wilson. I don't mind bringing back Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields a lot. He did a lot for us. He took us to, I think, 4-1 or 4-2, but he can make plays, and he was awesome to have on the team. I hope we can bring him back also. But we can't mess up the situation. Now, before the DK trade, I did not want Sam Darnold at all. But you know what? Having DK, having George, having Pat Freiermuth, Sam is a very good safe bet for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't mind him. Now I wouldn't mind if they get him. Because when you have two receivers, literally, one of them is right there, right in his prime. And then the other one, as in George Pickens, as great as he is so far, he's still not even close to being in his prime. So you can't mess up. If you're the Steelers, you cannot mess up this opportunity and get yourself potentially a pretty good to a decent quarterback. And I mean, we could draft one. I don't know how that would look because I think we're picked 21, I believe. So, I mean, if there's one that falls to us or a decent one that we like, yeah, sure. But I think building either on that offensive line or getting somebody in the secondary, I think we need help in the secondary. Minka can't do it all by himself. And Joey Porter, I love Joey Porter, but he's got to clean up the physicality a little bit. He had a lot of PI calls on him. I like physicality, but there's too many calls being called. Sorry, there's too many times he was called for pass interference. So that I'm not a huge fan of. But regardless, he's still an awesome young corner, and he'll fix that. I'm glad that we have him on the team. So I think we can go out and get a DB, or like I said, an offensive line. You can never go wrong with building an offensive line. You absolutely have to. So I hope that the Steelers aren't finished. I believe free agency starts on Wednesday. So we'll see where they go from here. But those are the two big transactions I wanted to talk about today. I'm really excited about the DK one. Like I said, he's going to fit in well. If we could run the ball successfully, he's going to be a great part of that because he's going to be able to block on the outside. And we all know what he can do when he gets the ball in his hands. So breakaway speed, absolutely a beast of a playmaker. And I'm excited to have him. He's the perfect guy to come play for the Pittsburgh Steelers and put on that black and gold helmet, uniform, everything. So I'm excited about that. And going back to the LA Rams is Davante Adams. Davante Adams going to the Rams has got to be very exciting news for the LA Rams fan base. You could not, I mean, the only other receiver that you probably ask for, but you're never going to get in this situation is like Justin Jefferson, Jay Jettas, or Jamar Chase. But, the NFL I don't think is going to be like the NBA where you have somebody trade a player like Luka to the Lakers for an A minus B plus tier player like Anthony Davis. And really he was playing at an A level, to be fair. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's not like you're not going to get wide receivers like that are going to go to the Rams. So Davante Adams, again, I still think he has a lot left in the tank. He's going to provide a lot of opportunities for Puka Nacua and the rest of that offense, along with Matthew Stafford. And Matthew Stafford now has somebody besides Nacua. And Davante Adams is relatively pretty healthy receiver, so he'll be able to have somebody to throw to consistently. Both him and Davante are getting up there in age, so they're very, like I said, they're very eager to go and win a Super Bowl. And Matthew Stafford might have just won one 3 years ago, but he's gonna want to win another one within these next 2 years. And Davante, we all know he wants to win that Super Bowl. That's why he came to the Rams. That's why he wants to be in LA, because they are suited right now to make great playoff runs, and it's going to be exciting to watch. So, but that's all the time I have for you guys today. I appreciate you guys that are watching my videos, that are still sticking to it. I apologize once again for taking forever to really get this out there, but I did want to finally get back to it. Lost a lot of motivation for a little bit there, and like I said, just a lot of other things that played into me going a little bit of a hiatus. But I'm back. I'm going to try to continue to put forth more content, turn more content for you guys, and really build this channel and build this community. That's what I want to do. That's what I would love to do. And so, yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please leave a like, comment, and if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click on the notifications bell. I am the host, but my name is Isaiah Ruiz. This is The Read Step, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.